For the Beaver Radio Network, I'm Kelly Schultz. Joining me from the BSU women's hockey team is Brittni Mowat, a sophomore out of Glenboro, Manitoba, our goaltender and WCHA Defensive Player of the Week. First of all, congratulations, Britt. How does it feel?
Thank you. It feels great. It's a huge honor.
We're coming off of a big weekend against Minnesota. Your team takes 5 out of 6 points. I know a week prior, your team had taken the Wisconsin Badgers, who were ranked number 2 at the time, to 1-goal losses. Your team's getting better each week. Going into the weekend against Minnesota, did you kind of see it coming that your team was going to get past that point?
I think after we gave Wisconsin such a good game, Wisconsin gave Minnesota good games, and I think we knew we could do it.
That Saturday game, I know we talked about it, the last 2 minutes, your team had a lead. They scored a power play goal. How stressful was that for you as a goaltender, knowing that your team was that close and then they took you into overtime?
Yeah, we were so close, and just getting that penalty at the end, the pressure they had 5-on-5 was kind of crazy. So after they got their goalie pulled, we did everything we could, and they got a nice tip.
And of course, playing against a player like Hannah Brandt, who got that power play goal, is always tough, Olympian. Do you even think about that when you're going head-to-head with a team of, hey, they're Olympians or national players? Or?
No, I don't think we can think about that because, in the end, we got to stop them all. So
you go to the shootout. I know most goaltenders probably either love it or hate it. Mm-hmm. You love the shootout or hate it?
It's kind of just in the moment. It doesn't bother me at all.
Okay. So then Saturday, final 2 minutes of the game, your team's leading 1-0 and another penalty gets called. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I certainly was like, oh no, not again.
Yeah.
What were you thinking with a minute and a half left in the hockey game?
It's kind of been a common occurrence for the Gophers. They always just score at the end of the game and bring it closer, but I don't know. I think knowing what we did all game, we knew we just had to keep doing that and hope for the best.
You mentioned you can't take all the credit. Talk about the play in front of you these last 2 games.
They were unbelievable. The shots blocked, one-timers, and I saw everything. They cleared the net, and whatever I didn't see, they blocked it. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, they were great in front of me.
First time ever your team's taken 5 out of 6 points at Ritter Arena. Mm-hmm. It's the first time you've beaten the Gophers at Ritter since 2007. What an accomplishment. Were you guys just on cloud 9 after this weekend?
Yeah, I don't think many of us even believed it. There was tears, and it was a great feeling.
And of course, as tradition, started by head coach Steve Sertich, you guys got to stop for ice cream.
Yeah.
What flavor and what kind did you get?
I got the pumpkin pie blizzard.
Okay. Talk about your team's penalty killers. Obviously, you only allowed 1 out of 6 against the Gophers this weekend. I know Amber Frickland works with your PK. How much has it improved since just a year ago when you first came to BSU?
Yeah, she looks at their videos so close, and she's got everything up on the internet, and she's got us studying them basically and kind of simulating their play in practice. So I think she gave us a good idea of what was going to happen.
Your team started out 4-0. I got to see you guys play against Robert Morris and then missed a couple of weekends. WCHA action starts and you find yourselves 0-4 in WCHA play before this last weekend. Were you wondering what was going to happen with this team, knowing that you had gotten off to such a great start and then all of a sudden league play came and you should have beaten a team like Ohio State? What was the mindset?
I think after Ohio, we just knew we had to get our heads back in it, and that wasn't going to be the case the whole season. And once we got back here and played Wisconsin, I think we knew we were the team the 4-0 start.
On to some more fun questions. Most goalies are superstitious. Do you have a superstition? Something you always have to do?
Mm-hmm. Just pregame, it's the exact same every day.
What do you do? How do you start your pregame?
I get to the rink, go to the stands, tape my stick, and just everything's the exact same. Dieters, throw some tennis balls, and
There's 4 goalies on this team this year. I know Dieters had to sit out last weekend. Mm-hmm. She was injured. You've got another goalie that walked on, Mackenzie Brook, and Hannah Paulson's going to redshirt this year. What does that do for you? What kind of competition does that give you, knowing that there's 3 other players competing for the same position?
Yeah, all the goalies in practice are great. Dieters has played great in the game she's got to start, and her concussion, she's back now, which is good.
Good.
And they're obviously giving me good competition, and that's good to have in practice.
All right, so on Twitter and Facebook and social media, your teammates were posting things like Mowat for governor, of course. for Minnesota.
Yeah.
It is a political season, but you're Canadian, so obviously you couldn't be a write-in. Was it kind of funny to you or an honor knowing that your teammates were kind of pushing for you?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I don't know, like the first guy that tweeted it, I didn't even know who he was. So
It's just a Beaver hockey fan.
Good laugh out of it, yeah.
Being a Canadian and being in Minnesota, what's it like? Any difference between, obviously the weather's pretty much the same because you're from Manitoba.
Yeah.
But what's it like living in the States?
I don't find it much different. No, not at all.
What's been your favorite opponent that you faced besides the Gophers?
I always like playing North Dakota. It's a short bus ride and we always give them good games. Playoffs were fun last year against them.
That's your next opponent. You get a weekend off. Do you wish you were playing this weekend?
Yeah, I kind of wish we could go from like what we had last weekend and just carry it in with the momentum we had, but just gonna have to keep our heads in it and keep focused.
You mentioned that you always have good battles against North Dakota.
Yeah.
What is your team going to need to do to win against North Dakota here in 2 weekends?
I think we're gonna have to do the exact same thing. They're obviously a good team. They got Olympians, players like that. So yeah, essentially block shots and do what we need to take the win.
Good luck to you, Britt. Congrats on the WCHA award.
Thank you.